This is the Crayola colored pencil color wheel. You need your set of 50 colored pencils. And the names are around the edge. You'll have everything except for this violet. So start with orchid, line them up. Orchid, raspberry, red, red, orange, and just put them all in a row like that. Then you also need your black and white. And if you have a pink eraser, this is the one thing that they come in really handy for. And then from your second sheet, you will need the complementary color scheme template. And we will use that to find complementary colors towards the end of the color wheel. Okay, I'm going to start with the outer row, and this is a 4-row color wheel. The outer row is the brights, second row light, third row dark, and fourth row dull, and it will look like this when it's finished. So this row doesn't have any white paper flecks. It should be solid color. This row is colored lightly with white on top of it. Then your darks are called shades, and that has black underneath, and then the tones, and that has the complement underneath. What we're going to start with is orchid, and you want to press hard enough that there are no white specks, because the white of the paper makes a tint. A tint is a color plus white. Now I want the second row to be a tint, so I'm going to, at the same time as I do the outer row, I'm just going to do the second one. So you press very hard for the outer row, and you press lightly for the second one. This color wheel is, okay, this is raspberry. This color wheel is called the double primaries, meaning you've got 2 reds, 2 yellows, and 2 blues. And the reason for that is that there's no such thing as a true red. Red is always going to lean either more towards orange or more towards violet. Okay, so solid and then lightly. This is red, orange. Go all the way to the edges so there aren't any white lines between the spaces. And then orange, and you're going to keep going around the color wheel like this. So if you've done color wheels before, you don't necessarily have to keep watching. You can just go ahead and forward it until I get to the next step. Okay, yellow, orange. Now we're coming over to the yellows, and again, that's primary color. And there are 2 of them. One leans more towards the oranges, and the other leans more towards the greens. So if you're mixing them, okay, mango is the one that you would use if you were mixing to make the brightest possible orange. And then if you're mixing blue and yellow to make green, you're going to end up using more like a lemon yellow. But the Crayola color is just yellow. Okay, moving on to yellow-green. Press hard. Don't leave any of the white paper showing through, because this you want just solid color, bright. And then when you get to the second row, you want it to be light, so press lightly. Oops. Okay, green. Every colored pencil set that you use will have different names for the colored pencils. Names are rather random, same as if you go to buy paint at a hardware store. All the names, they're just made up. The most accurate thing, like teal, is not necessarily a color wheel name. The most accurate are yellow, green, yellow, yellow, orange, orange, red, orange, where you have the primary color first, and then the secondary color second. Okay. Cerulean blue is the greener, whoa, lost the tip, is the greener of the two blues. So if you were trying to mix a bright green, you're going to pick the blue that already looks a little bit greenish. In this, it's cerulean. In paint, it's usually, in oil paint, it's usually called phthalo blue. And then this blue would be what would be ultramarine blue. Okay, it's very purpley, you can tell if you put the two next to each other. Then lightly on the second row. Alright, we are up to almost the last. We have violet, and actually the violet that is included with the Crayola colored pencil set this year is more of a blue violet than, oh, lost that pencil too. Pencil lead breaks if colored pencil sets have been dropped. You can tell this one's been through the mill. Okay, let's see if we can get a tip here. No, we keep losing. Just need a little to go. Try that. Alright, then light on the second one. Now, what are we going to do? We don't have a true violet because this is more of a blue violet. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix these two. We're going to mix the orchid and the violet to get a more true violet. So I'm going to do an underlayer of orchid. And then I'm going to do this on top to see how it's looking. It's looking better, but not quite. I'm going to go back on top with this one. The goal is to try to get a purple that is in between these two. That's better. Alright, so see how this one is more on the blue side, and then as you go around, these are the closest matched colors you can get with Crayola. It's possible if you buy individual colors through Prismacolor to get colors that are a bit more accurate, but this is the best color wheel we can do with the pencils we have without requiring you to spend about $1.50 a pencil. Okay, so I put the two layers together there. I'm going to darken this just a little bit over on the orchid, and then this over here, there. Okay, now the light row. Oops, I'm going to try to keep these in order because it just makes it easier. If you start with a yellow and go counterclockwise, then you don't have to clean the tip of your white off, because there's some of this yellow in the yellow-orange, so you just go straight across, and there's some of the yellow-orange in the orange, so you don't have to clean it. If you go the opposite direction, you go from green into blues, and you have to clean the tip of your pencil off each time. Now what the white does is it makes it creamy, so it's a different texture, and it blends it. And if you have Prismacolor colored pencils, it really blends beautifully. The Crayolas are a less expensive brand. They don't blend quite as well, but they still do give you an idea of what it looks like with using the white flecks of the paper as your tint, and what it looks like using the white color to blend. Look at that change right there. You can see it in the greens pretty well, where it just smooths it all out.